Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Thursday, the 21st of October. Let's have a look at what we got in store in terms of news, risk events today first. And well, there's not a lot here today. I say not a lot. There may be some other speakers that are not on this list. We've been seeing a few speakers coming in here and there. It's the last week that the FOMC speakers can speak. So before they get stopped, I think it's this coming Saturday. But anyway, we do have an FOMC speaker this afternoon. That's about it. The Fed Philly Manufacturing Index isn't really much of a mover. Unemployment claims might get a little kicker around that, but I don't expect too much. FOMC, see a speaker there. Is he a voting member? Yep, he's a voting member. Just checking, because non-voting members seem to move the market a lot less than voting members. Due to speak at the US economy on an online event hosted by Official Monetary and Financial Institutions Forum. Okay, audience. Okay, if there's audience questions, they'll be asking the key questions there. So maybe expect something around about 2:30, 1:30. As I say, don't really expect anything there. So that's the news front. Whilst I'm here, just have a look at the treasuries where they're sitting at the moment. Drop down a little bit. They've been as high as 167, closing towards the 1.7 area. We saw those sort of levels back in May this year, and then the dollar went absolutely crazy for a while after. We're not seeing that at the moment, but yeah, the yields are still pushing up a little bit there as treasuries are sold. Right. Let's look at the technicals then, starting off looking at euro dollar. And yesterday had a fine up day in the end. It looks like it's working its way gradually towards that monthly pivot. The target's sitting above. However, I'm just looking at it on the 4-hourly at the moment, and it's sort of almost double topped. It didn't quite make the tops, but a lot of people will just look at that and say, well, it's double topped. Wasn't any real divergence sitting over it or anything, but pulling away at the moment. Come down to the 60-minute here. It's just running. You see, it's running into its daily R1. The bodies of the previous bars there. It's got a daily untouched daily pivot here. It'll be interesting this morning to see what it does, whether it bounces off this sort of pivot and we've got the 50, the 34 sitting there, or whether it continues to roll over. But yeah, it's got potential for a bit more of a continuation to the upside. As I say, well, that monthly pivot may be a bit of a draw above, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens post 8 o'clock here. Cables had again yesterday. You wouldn't have believed it at one stage. It was the weakest of the lot, and then in the afternoon came the turnaround, as we so often see. We've seen a real game of two halves in these markets at the moment. 12 o'clock bar there on the 4-hourlies, the afternoon bar off it went after quite a sell, and it recaptured some of its losses quite quickly, but selling off again at the moment. And well, dollar seems to be winning on these two at least. So selling off at the moment again. Post 8 o'clock, just watching this, it does look a little bit more iffy. We've put a lower high in this morning, and as I say, it does look a bit iffy at the moment, but that's through the Asian session that sort of occurred. The bigger picture still, to me, looks like it's got some potential here, but it may be this afternoon before that potential is shown. Okay, that's cable. Dollar yen. Dollar yen again. We saw this yesterday. The dollar losing strength against the yen here. The yen effectively getting stronger. We saw it happening in there. In fact, it just carried on through a little bit in the end, but selling off towards again monthly pivot sitting below there, which sorry, weekly pivot, beg your pardon, below there, which could be a bit of a draw. Clear lower highs in this market. As you look at it, it was rolling down the previous yesterday there, and it's popped in lower highs, and it's just at this stage got a bit of strength. If we come back to the big picture, you'll just see it's been back into these prior highs, and I think that's really what's stalling things here. Certainly stopping it for now at least. It's obviously quite a key line in the sand. Okay, that's the yen, Aussie dollar. So the Aussie dollar again selling off, so dollar strength running through, big bullish engulfing bar there, sitting in there. Quite a strong 4-hourly bar there. That's the biggest one we've seen for some time. Quite a weak looking market, and already right the way through its daily pivot, and certainly losing some traction today. Canadian dollar catching the bounce, so the US dollar strengthening against Canadian dollar as well. So it's same everywhere at this stage, and swinging around at the bottom there. Just looking at what it's doing, it's not really putting higher lows in or anything like this at the moment, but risking a move. There is a obvious trend line up going across. If I can draw it on, would be good. No, it's not going to let me draw it on there. Let's try again. I'm going to pop it there for a minute and then just move it across. So we have got this trend line coming across there, which is pretty key on the Canadian dollar at the moment. But who knows, it might just break through that and reverse back this afternoon again. It's what we seem to be seeing. Although this is quite a bounce it's had. It made up some decent ground last night and through the Asian session, and we're seeing a lot of that ground given back up at the moment. But still lower highs, lower lows, bigger picture is what will come of this. This is one of the strongest currencies against the US dollar for sure, and across many of its peers. New Zealand dollar this morning, let's just have a look where we are with that. Just get the daily chart on, there we go, it's better. So again, this has been pushing up strong. Let's just come into the weekly, let's just see where we are. We're into the weekly 200 now, so okay, so stalling a little there, but I don't think any of these key moving averages are really the point right now. It's more, as I say, dollar strength coming through with those yields having been strong, and at this stage we're just seeing sort of a bit of an after effect. Whether this continues through this morning, well, we just have to wait and see post 8 o'clock again. It's just sort of as the volumes start coming in, greater European volumes start coming in, we tend to see a bit more of a direction. But for now, there's real sign of dollar strength this morning. Okay, cross pairs. Just have a quick look at the cross pairs. So euro really losing against the yen there. With the euro, all the yen pairs will be doing a similar situation here at the moment. And if you're sort of sitting there waiting for a yen pair, maybe at some point we'll get an option if you were looking for the long side to trade those. Okay, so soft here, it's broken, given a lower high on this euro yen at the moment, and as I said, looking like that. Well, at the moment looks like it may even get a bit of continuation. I'm just looking at the size of these bars here, the ranges here. It's almost done a 1-to-1 in terms of the move here to here and then across here. It's not far off a 1-to-1 movement across to the downside. They might see it peter out at that stage, but we'll see what's going on. But at the moment, it's just looking really soft. Right, let's go to that. Here we are. Okay, let's have a look at the commodities. Actually, before that, I've been looking at the euro CAD for a long time. What's happening there? So catching a bounce there. Your CAD really affected on this retracement at the moment. Catching quite a bounce. Let's just come back out there. You just see it really give him quite a lot back this morning, and softening with some of these stronger markets. Currently some of the weaker markets, and there we are. It's softened right away back for now, at least. Okay, that's the EuroCAD. Right, let's move on. Let's have a look at the commodities. Let's look at gold. So gold, what we got going on with gold here? Gold, talk about twitchy yesterday. It's continuing its sort of run to the upside here, but at one stage it came off quite quickly, then fired back up. You just see how tight it is in its range at this moment. But there you go. It's pushing up quite strongly, then completely just gave all its gains straight back again in the next bar. But it is managing up there. But this sort of movement, I spoke about it yesterday, and I was talking about it in our train room. This is for me is the problem with gold. It can move quite a long way, taking out stops, and can be quite savage to retail traders. And maybe you need to just look at position sizing down a tad in terms of the or put bigger stops on, basically. When I say position sizing, which will result in a smaller position size, but just stay into something like this, you just need to hold on there. You just need a bigger stop, otherwise you're going to lose regularly on gold. Oil's come off this morning again. It's just come out to the dailies here. So yesterday closed at its highest level this year, it pushing back up. There was calls from the Iraqi minister, oil minister, suggesting it will be $100. Well, that won't please a lot of people, but it's by the end of the year. But I wouldn't be massively surprised if it doesn't get up there. The oil producers are underproducing at the moment, their quotas, and we're seeing, as a consequence of that, we've been seeing oil pushing up. Finally did swing around yesterday. I sat there and waited for a while. It looked like it was going to sell and sell, and it was after 2 o'clock. Well, 2 o'clock, there you go. Eventually it came in and ran at 3. I missed this move up there at 3 o'clock, but off it went back into the prior highs. Again, so we'll be looking at it later this afternoon, given the opportunity. At the moment, it looks like it's heading for its daily pivot, but say really on these markets lately, we see a real game of two halves, as they say. Right, let's have a look at the sorry, press the wrong button. There we go. Let's have a look at the we were looking at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin yesterday made a new high, new all-time high, ran in there. No surprise there to see some profit taking coming in. So I said yesterday, as much as people want to buy around those highs there, and they're seeing it where it's going to break out, often you see a bit of profit taking. Whether that will continue today, we'll see. It will be a real sort of demonstration of the strength of Bitcoin or not, but we've seen a strong dollar today, so no real surprise to see some sort of retracement at the moment. But if it can hang in there, can consolidate again, well, perhaps we've got some further highs to be had. Finally, after it's caught the coattails, held onto the coattails, Ethereum moved yesterday, but other markets weren't. When I was looking at them early afternoon, you had barely a move on Ripple. Ripple is sort of one of my, I like Ethereum, but Ripple another favoured one out there. But at the moment, it's just not really getting anywhere at all. Right, indices. Just look what's happened in the Hong Kong 300 Chinese index. Basically nothing much going there. It's still consolidating around the lows there and really struggling to do anything. And the Nikkei, well, that's off this morning as well. Wow, it's a big old chunk off there. So real move in these markets. And the FTSE, we just got the 803, so we just seen the beginning. There you go, selling there as well. So money running to safety this morning without any doubt at all. DAX off here, it's looking a little bit softer, and the CAC is the softest. Let's just have a look what it's doing today. No, it's okay. It's not moving down too much, but again, all the European markets down at this stage. S&Ps, let's just have a look. S&Ps also down. We weren't too far out away from all-time highs there yesterday with the S&Ps. And I said for now, I've just sort of let them get on with themselves. I do wonder how long this new move will last, but maybe it's a big correction move, and that's it. It's going to carry on for a little while, but I don't think it'll be too long before it starts rolling back again. But it's a real sign of a market, the last throw, not necessarily the dead cat bounce, but from where it is, but certainly maybe the last hurrah. Okay, on that last hurrah, I wish you a great day's trading out there, and I'll catch you tomorrow. I'll speak to you later. Take care. Have a good day.